so I wanted to do a little skit to start off the video, but I couldn't really think of one, so I'm just gonna play this video of American Dad throwing it back and call it a day. Cool, anyways. What's good, y'all? It's Kyle next door, and on today's agenda, I decided to throw myself a challenge. For starters, I love Super Smash Bros. It's only at the top 3 of my favorite games of all time. And about a week ago, I thought about how Smash characters would look in different anime art styles. So here's what I did. I generated a few animes and made another wheel for the roster I picked for today's challenge. Here's the thing. I picked these characters not at random, but because I feel I'm not comfortable drawing them. Whether because of too much detail, or me just not used to their art style. Explaining why Mario and Luigi are nowhere to be found, I feel I've gotten too comfortable drawing them. Please follow my Instagram. Alright class, now that everybody knows how to run the basics of the game, are there any questions before we start? You, sir.
So, you stated characters you know how to draw like Mario and Luigi are out of the game, but Dr. Mario is shown right there. Isn't that cheating?
Any more questions, class? No? Alright, let's start the game. First pick. Sora. Art style.
Draw your last pathetic card so I can end this, Yugi.
My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba. But it does contain the unstoppable Exodia!
When the wheel landed on Yu-Gi-Oh, I was a little nervous at first, but I was familiar with its art style, so I believed in the heart of the pen and kept it pushing. Get it? Heart of cards. Heart of the pen.
If you don't get your squiggly diggly head.
So to make these drawings as accurate as possible to the franchise, we need to first analyze the art style and see what makes it unique. I think the first thing many people notice in this series is how big and spiky the hair is, which doesn't really change much due to Sora already having that already. But another thing we could peep at is the face structure. Pause the video. How do you just achieve a perfectly diamond-shaped chin like that? For a battle anime, good thing they fight with cards and not hands. Throwing an uppercut in this series would feel unimaginable. Like I was saying, looking at the face structure, you notice at the end of some body parts, the outline starts to get bigger. Mainly on the nose, I think. A little bit on the chin, maybe the ears. Did I forget to say the chin? And this is what I came up with. Not exactly how I viewed it in my head, but the finished product came out pretty close. It's not perfect, but comparing it to an official image, I say we passed. Alright, next up. We got Cloud though.
Some dude just came up to me and thrust his package in my face. I almost puked on him because it looked like a bunch of sweet treats, but I took it just in case it was full of some sweetmeats, if you know what I'm saying.
I found this one to be a fun little icebreaker. So the first thing we all notice is how cartoony and kind of pointy-ish the art style is. There also isn't much shading, or shading at all when it comes to the series, so that's one thing I didn't have to worry about. When I was doing the outline, I realized the hair isn't black, unless the character has black hair. It's actually the same color as the hair, but a little darker. One thing that bothered me though, this art style is a little too perfect. Coming from a guy who only draws with sketchy lines, it felt weird perfecting my line art to be straighter than braided pube hair.
You what?!
But after a long battle with straight lines, I finally brought something to the table. You ask me, I'd say this is just copy and paste to the source material. I don't think I did too bad on the line art either. Like I said before, I think we passed. Next up. Snake. Then our art style is...
Come on now, bring it. What's wrong? After all, you're the ones who said not to run, right? Need a hand?
Cool, let's do it. First thing I'll say is, this was one of the more harder ones for me. First idea I came up with was giving Snake the Jujutsu High uniform, making him like an official member of the Sorcerers. Then again, before we even continue the process, we must study the face structure. Alright class, can anybody tell me what makes the Jujutsu Kaisen art style so unique? Nobody? So I have to call names, I see. Philly Duffelberg.
Was the whole government necessary, though?
Was my wife taking BBC from the whole basketball team necessary? Nah, but we keep it pushing. So tell me about this art style.
I don't know. It's very human?
That's right, class. The art style is very human-like. Looking at corners on the outline, you can see it is very sharp and detailed, not only making the face expressive, but the entire drawing itself. Great answer, Philly. But minus 80% of your grade because you forgot to mention the chin. Still, everybody clap it.
First off, maybe I would have gotten the answer right if you didn't suck so much ass at teaching. Maybe then, people pushing 30 would finally graduate from this 5th grade class. You're always talking about chin this, chin that. I'm about to rock you in your chin. How'd that sound to you?
Philly, step aside real quick. But anyway, I found this drawing more time-consuming than others because I'm not used to drawing realism, and I also went for the glossy uniform style from the Season 1 anime. After one whole sleepless night, I finally got something I was happy with. Might not look exactly like JJK because I was sort of freestyling it, but hopefully you get the gist. I say we passed. Next up. Joker. And we got... Well, let's get the show on the road. When starting this drawing, my main concern was how I was going to do the face. Sailor Moon has a very 90s style look to it, so it's very different from every other modern style we have today. Not just the face, but for the shading as well. But luckily for me, as I was looking at the shading here for reference, things looked a little more simple than I remembered. Comparing to others, there's a huge lack of shading and detail in general, so I took this as an advantage and went on with it. But if you know me, I'm a shading crackhead. I love giving myself pain. So for the final few touches, I decided to go the extra mile and give the drawing a 90s filter. So after 10 minutes of procrastinating on Instagram, after 10 minutes of searching on YouTube for a good tutorial on how to add a 90s filter, I finally found one. After adding the finishing piece, things started to wrap up pretty well. Boom! So how did I do? I know, it's pretty fire. Oh, come on, it's not even that bad. Anyway, this is what I came up with. Not too snazzy, you know what I'm saying. Pretty accurate to the source material. If you ask me, I say we passed. I think I definitely nailed the 90s shading technique and the visual art style of how a 90s anime should look. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching the final pick. First spin. We have Mega Man. And our last art style is...
Hey, Kaido! What are you doing? I can't believe you let him knock you down.
I am Monkey D. Luffy, the man who will surpass you. And I'm gonna be King of the Pirates!
When starting this last drawing, my brain was fried. Maybe because I started this drawing late at 12 and didn't finish till 1 in the morning. The only thing running through my head was finishing this drawing so I could just go to bed. But we also have to focus on how I'm gonna turn Robot Dude into a pirate. And honestly, I had no ideas. Eventually, I looked up One Piece reference photos, and I had an idea of giving Mega Man a pirate cloak, kind of like Roger's. So at this point, I knew what I was doing. Now I just need to figure out how I'm going to pull off this art style. So after 5 minutes of grooming, I I mean, Googling on the internet for One Piece art style images. I wanted to go out with a bang, so I pulled a new trick up my sleeve. Manga, line art, and shading.
Didn't you already do that with the JJK drawing?
So after another whole sleepless night, I finally finished the drawing. In one piece. Get it? Because it's One Piece.
If you don't get your squiggly digging.
And there we have it. Mega Man is complete. I freestyled this so hard. Don't get me wrong, I tried following the blueprint, but at the same time, I threw in my own sauce. With that being said, gathering all 5 illustrations, I would say my favorite has to be Pirate Mega Man. I have to say, I really outdid myself with this one. Notable mention, Snake from JJK. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed this challenge, and I hope you did too. If you want to see a part 2 or anything like this, leave it in the comments. At the time of this recording, it's pretty late. I'm tired. I'm going. And with that being said, I'll catch you on the next one.